Allah Tinubu regionalize this country. When you regionalize this country, I'm telling you a lot of this unaliving will stop. Do you know why I tell you it will stop? It will stop because the assignment that some people feel that they have a state, a country to conquer will now be left with they have their self to conquer. Do you understand? And in regards to regionalization, the regionalization must be arrived at as a result of memorandum. You will not use the 6 geopolitical regions to regionalize the country. It must be as a result of referendum. Seriously, when you now regionalize it as a result of referendum, states that think alike, state that believes that bandits, terrorists should be pardoned, should go alike, and states that doesn't see it that way should also go their own way. I am telling you. But if you think you are a Superman, there's actually anything you can do in this regard, I am telling you sincerely, nothing. Nothing. The level of these people's commitment in regards ensuring they have this, they feel they have this supernatural conviction that the nation itself is an assignment for them to conquer, and not just the nation, the world at large. That is how these people think. And if you think there's anything you can do in this system to change it, you are a joker. Seriously, you are a joker. But at the end of the day, if you allow your personal greed, your selfishness, because you want to be recognized as the president, it has a time limit. Very soon you are gone now. Another person comes up next. And after that, it continues like that. At the end of the day, even people that think by virtue of they are wealthy, they are secured, at the end of the day, there's no security for anybody. Alright? While in the spirit of this, the only part that I strongly believe that no matter how this madness, it will never affect them, are the Igbo people. I am telling you, this madness can never get to Igbo people. And if I must tell you the truth, let me be a little bit biased this evening. I am telling you that I would rather contend with the madness or the problem of the Igbo people than contend with the problem of a divine religious ideology that is all about unaliving and retrogression. Sincerely. But gradually, the last time I checked, is touching your people too now. Now small you see. You never see the full-blown. When you see the full-blown now, by that time, you will not even be there. Here we say they are unaliving on the basis of religious sentiments. There's Christian genocide, and people are now getting momentum to come and say it doesn't exist. It's not true. It's not true. Well, the fact is, I believe it's actually not true at this point in time, because the thing never achieved its desired goal. Possibly by the time it has achieved its desired goal, the last man that will stand to say it's even true will no more be there. And possibly that will make sense to you.
Look, they will force the Christians to form their own militia with the way they are talking to defend them. I'm not joking. They will form their own Christian militia to defend them and let nobody blame the Christians, because it's getting to that point.
I don't think that's.
Are you serious? Oh, this other people that they invited in call. This other he's defending them now. Say that they are boys. Everybody that attack them, they will not vote for him. He said it. He said it in this country.
All right.
Something he cannot say in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, when he they declared him persona non grata in Saudi Arabia. What was the reason? Moses, what was the reason? Let him tell us. But he can come here and tell provocative statements, and nobody challenges him. Nobody talks. Everybody just keep quiet because it's their right to say so. Abi, one of them, Mr. Moses, that the Tinubu's wife should be killed because she's an infidel. She's a Christian. Very provocative statement. And you are talking of nationalism. Is that how to preach nationalism? When it's always you that is causing infraction, you talk and behave as if nobody is in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
No, let us start from somewhere. I told him, let them meet us halfway, Nigeria will be paradise, but they refuse to listen. They refuse to listen. They don't want any other person to talk or say anything. They are the ones that they should be heard. Is that how to build a country? What is nationalistic about this thing they are doing? Leah Sharibu, a young girl, her destiny cut off.
All right, Barrister Darling, thank you very much.
Cut off because of religion.
Gumi, I dey come for you. As we say, una say this country, una go later on with insecurity. That we no go ever get rest of mind. I am going to say something about you, Gumi. You go enlist your pikin as an officer cadre. If you be say the Nigeria, if they save, if you be say the other rank cadre no be enslaved war, why you no put your pikin to make your pikin as another rank, but you go make an officer so that your pikin go dey follow them, they do dirty business for this nation. You put your pikin as an officer or ND or whatsoever where your pikin graduate with second lieutenant, then you are telling Nigerians that there is a reason why the federal government need to negotiate with bandits. So Gumi, you and Meitiala are inciting, instigating the terrorists to be killing people. So they have legalized weapons for the terrorists. Terrorists now have license to buy people in this nation. Then the terrorists who buy a lot of people, burn down infrastructure and other, burn down villages. At the end of the day, Gumi, you said there is a reason for the federal government to negotiate that they should not provoke them. They are on revenge. I want to ask you, Gumi, they are on revenge. Who offended them? Who fight them? Who fight their family member? Why are they on revenge? Who offended them? You have to tell Nigeria because you fail to tell. You just talk. No, people are not looking to your direction. I will look your direction. Gumi, you are a terrorist. Gumi is a rebellion man in this nation. I don't know the position when they hold for this country. A runaway officer who left the job because he know that there is no life, because they know that they don't want them to push them to a war front where they can be able to buy him. He left the job. Then he's now trying to, I don't even know the position, so he's trying to say that there is a reason for federal government for Nigeria to negotiate with terrorists. So we will now have 3 governments in the country. While we have civil government and military government, and we now have terrorist government. So we should open a field for them to negotiate that they should not provoke them. They are on revenge. Gumi, who buy the terrorist parents? Which revenge are they going to? Who offended them? Who pursued them? I want you to tell the nation who offended them, who come close to them that make them to be on revenge. Who are they revenging for? The people of the east, now they offended, now they buy their family. The people of the north, now they buy their family. Let me tell you, Gumi is the highest terrorist in the nation, where federal government license Gumi to do anyhow in this nation. I said, I'm coming for you, Gumi. Gumi, you are no such human being in this nation. If nobody can tell you, I will tell you. You go and enlist your pikin in officer cadre. You fail to enlist your pikin in other rank cadre because you don't want people to command your pikin and push your pikin to the war front so that they will also buy. But forget, you are not the owner of the military. No be your village for create military. So therefore, Gumi, if you like, you put your pikin for officer cadre, they go still command your pikin. They will push your pikin there. If your pikin misbehave to soldier, they go buy your pikin. Because why? You are instigating terrorists to buy people in this nation. Why the federal government is looking at you without looking to your direction. They are giving you the license to speak. They are sending you to negotiate. You are in between the terrorists. You are the leaders of the terrorists. The major, like the president of terrorists. Why are you? You are the vice president of terrorists. Nobody they look your direction. You are talking nonsense. Gumi, Duru Warika.
He told us that he doesn't know these people where they come from, that they are not Muslims. So why are you supporting them? You were here when Kawu Baraje came inside. In fact, on camera, he told us how they invited these people from all over Africa. He said it himself, not a leader, that they invited them into Nigeria, terrorists. And he told them to come, that the jihad has started in Nigeria. He said it. Moses, where is Leah Sharibu today? That girl is a metaphor for what we are talking about. That girl that we are held against her religious wish. Is that not enough for these people to be sober and say, no, we are overdoing this, you know? Where is Deborah Samuel in Sokoto that was burnt? Moses, are we going to call one or two? So, for anybody to sit down here and be telling us that you made the deal with who? Where are they coming from? Was it like that before 2015? Right. Moses, he asked me a question here and I want to answer him. He said, who gave these people guns? In 2016, under Buhari, he included 940 million naira in our national budget. And when we asked why, this is a private business, so why are you including it to fund the Fulani herdsmen's activity? He said, it's to build ranches so that the farmer header class will stop. We agreed. Moses, we agreed though, 940, 1 naira had value. Up to today, until Buhari finished his time and left, did you see where he put one ranch? One like this, one ranch. Rather, at the end of that year, we saw guns. Fulani herdsmen started carrying guns all over the place. And the killing started. Why is he not talking about it now? No, please. These are issues. Look, you see Benue, Plateau, and that Leah Sharif, they are a metaphor for what we are talking about, Christian genocide. Let him show me one Fulani man that is IDP camp in there. Let him bring one person that is the IDP camp in Benue and the Plateau. Let him show me just one person, one.
That name, Muhammadu Buhari. That wicked man called Muhammadu Buhari. He was the chief enabler of all these things. First of all, let me tell you something. You know, in our climb, when you begin to talk about people who have passed on, a lot of people begin to want to say, no, we shouldn't delve too much at people who have passed on. But that is not true, because there will be no history if we don't talk at the past of the past and of people who have passed on. There will be no history. That was what we knew about Nebuchadnezzar. That was what we knew about Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler had passed even before my late dad was born. But that was what we knew about him. That was what we knew about Idi Amin. We knew about Benito Mussolini, Pol Pot, Augustus Pinochet. You know, that's what we knew about Osama bin Laden. He has passed before my son was born. My son was born in 2013. Osama bin Laden was killed in 2011. But on September 11 this year, they took the whole day teaching these kids about 911 in schools in America. My son came back home, and throughout that day, he was watching the documentary of 911. He was watching the documentary, and he had very uncomplimentary remarks about Osama bin Laden. That's exactly what happened. Buhari, very wicked man, Muhammadu Buhari. Look, he was the first person who initiated the idea of Nigeria going to OIC, but he was overthrown, and then Babangida just completed what he started by registering Nigeria in the Organization of Islamic Conference. About 20 years ago, or 25 years ago, it was Buhari who said, by God's grace, they will make Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria, Sharia compliant. The same Muhammadu Buhari. And when he came up to contest for president, he contested 6 times. Look, his ally, he's one of his most trusted lieutenants. That man from Kano, who was once head of Nigerian Maritime Authority. His name, I just forgot his name now. You know, that man that is with Rabiu Kwankwaso right now. He said, in 2003, the idea of Muhammadu Buhari coming for presidency is just to protect the Fulanis and to promote Sharia. The channel interview is there. Show on Politics Today. He said it. So some of us never saw this coming. We did not see this. And so in 2014, I don't know whether I was stupid or I was naive or I was just being completely ignorant of history. I drove myself to the first bank in Gwarinpa, First Avenue, and deposited 20,000 naira in the account of the Buhari organization for his campaigns. 20. And I contested for APC. I won the House of Reps of APC, Makudi House of Makudi Guma House of Reps ticket of APC in December of 2014. Although it was hijacked, my victory was hijacked. But the 2.5 million naira I paid into APC account in Zenith, Gwarinpa, that year to purchase that form, all went to the campaign of Buhari. And then I paid my 20,000 naira again to the Buhari Foundation. The other person I knew in Benue who has done that is Professor Stephen Akuma, who has paid money to the Buhari Foundation because we believe so much. We believe that, look, Buhari has the wherewithal to tackle the security challenges in Nigeria. At that time, it was only Boko Haram and few of his headmen killings here and there in Benue. We're able to tackle it on our own. But you see, the first red flag came when this guy started promising hell if he doesn't win the presidency. A contestant to a president promising that the dog and the baboon will be soaked in blood. In blood. A presidential candidate saying that. That's metaphor. It's not the literal dog and baboon. The metaphor. It's a metaphor for we humans. The whole country will be soaked in blood. We didn't see this. And then the next thing, the guy opened the border of his state of Katsina and Sokoto and brought in his kinsmen from Niger, from Burkina Faso, thousands of Fulani warriors, fighters, getting ready for his victory. So that if there's no victory, they're going to just collapse Nigeria. And then he won. And then the next thing, those guys were stationed in Nigeria. They couldn't go back. And El Rufai took so much billions to go and give many of them. And they still were not contended. And they stayed back in the forest. And that was the beginning of the height of this nuisance that we're witnessing in Nigeria today. These are the same Fulanis that have just scattered themselves in all the forests in Nigeria today with every imaginable and unimaginable arm, going after our people. So without Buhari, Yorata could not have happened. It was Buhari who came in his presidency from 2015 to 2023. He dedicated his whole life trying to get land across the country for the Fulanis. He started with Ketu colony. You know what colony is? Where you once a British colony. So the colony of the Ketu, that's Fulani taking over your land. And in all this, he will be picking states in, the Christian dominated states. In Benue, there's going to be in Plateau, there's going to be one southern eastern state. What happened to Sokoto state? What happened to Katsina? Then he went to Ruga. A lot of people forgot that Ruga is really a Fulani word for the Ketu colony. So I see a lot of people writing Ruga in bold letters, thinking it's an abbreviation of something. That's a Fulani name for a Ketu colony. And then when that fell, he went to Ketu reserves, everything about reserving this for Fulani. When it failed, he now went on. He brought in something called the Water Resources Bill. That Water Resources Bill said all the water bodies in Nigeria, every river in Nigeria, River Benue, River Niger, some of these other smaller rivers, River Katsina, from the river bank to 5 kilometers from both sides of the river bank, will be under the control of the Fulanis, the federal government, to be given to the Fulanis. So, because even up to now, these people come through the rivers to strike, so that they'll be well positioned to be striking all these towns across Nigeria. If you remember last year, those of you Makodi, last year, the former chief of staff to Governor Otom, Tewas Obunde, his wife was kidnapped, and they used the boat to transfer her to an island. And even when they were paying the ransom, they had to go through the sea, through River Benue, to an island somewhere where Fulanis were gathered. So it was Buhari who caused all these things. During Buhari's presidency, we witnessed proliferation of terrorist groups in Nigeria. It was there that Ansaru was born, that Lakurawa was born, that Fulani terrorists heightened, that other terrorist groups, even ISWAP, came to Nigeria.
Good day to our viewers all over the world and welcome back to Local Journal. Honestly, I've always been a pro-regionalist and I'll continue to be a regionalist because we know that is the only solution to the problems we have in Nigeria. The myriad of problems we are having today is as a result of this system we are practicing today. And the reason why this whole Fulani menace is continuing and it's gaining ground and it's not going to stop anytime soon, rather it will continue to wax stronger, is actually because we are practicing the system. The best thing in the interest of everybody in this country at the moment, so that we can stop blaming each other, is to go back to the regional government. If we go back to the regional government and these people have their own region, they can start colonizing themselves and fighting to like a kind of install a Fulani caliphate in their own region and not the whole Nigeria again. It's time for us to call for a referendum so that we can talk about our unity going forward, because the chaos in the land, the mayhem in the land is unbearable already. It's not something that we should be taking like a pinch of salt, because this is the way we've been acting. We've been acting so nonchalant to this idea of regionalism, and this whole thing is affecting us. Our leaders can see in the Senate, they can see that this is what is happening. They can see that Nigeria is not united and regional government is the best thing in the interest of everybody. However, they are keeping quiet and they just want to like kind of amass wealth for themselves and their families, and that's the reason why they don't want to talk about regional government or regionalism in Nigeria today. They don't want to even hear it, but they can see the problem. They can see the insecurity problem that is heightening every day, and we know that this problem is not going to stop anytime soon. President come and president go, and if Tinubu fails to regionalize this country, at some point he's going to be regretting that he had the opportunity and everything it takes, the wherewithal to regionalize this country and make this country what it should be, yet he failed to do that. And that time it will be too late for him, because this menace of the Fulanis in Nigeria is becoming unbearable for everybody. People can't go out again, they can't travel because everybody is scared, because they don't know the next minute. They don't know what is waiting for them on the road. Nigeria never used to be like this. We're living in a country that anybody could travel, come out at night and do whatever what they want to do. But today in Nigeria, traveling during the daytime is not even what you can even think about, not to talk about traveling in the night. So of course, this country is polarized already. We are divided and nothing is working for us in this country. Until we solve our insecurity problem, there is no way we are going to make any effort in developing this country. There won't be any development without fixing insecurity, because about 30-something% of Nigeria's budget goes into security, into securing this country. Yet nothing is coming out. We are not seeing any positive result. For over 2 decades now, we've been devoting, we've been accruing, we've been giving, we've been allocating trillions of naira for security in this country, but we've not seen anything. It has not yielded any positive results, and this is what is hampering our development as a country. And if we don't talk about this whole thing, if we don't solve this insecurity problem bedeviling this country, there is no way we are going to move forward. There is no way we are going to be a great nation that we yearn to become. So the best thing for everybody to like kind of get now is regional government, so that we can have peace and unity, so that everybody can go to their region and do their things their way and the way they like. This is my opinion on this. Kindly drop what you think about this in the comment section. And if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.